All right, team, welcome. We're going to dive into a really critical part of our playbook today. This explainer is all about Section 2 of the Field Operations SOP. You know, the part that lays out the core site management procedures for all our multifamily construction projects. This is where the rubber meets the road.
So here's a quick look at our game plan. We're going to walk through each of the 5 core standard operating procedures in Section 2, covering everything from daily reporting all the way to weekly progress tracking. All right, let's jump right in.
Okay, so Section 2. I want you to think of this as the absolute foundation for how we manage our sites. This section gives us the standardized, repeatable procedures for all our daily and weekly field activities here at Fairway Construction. And why does that matter? Because it's how we guarantee every single project runs with the same high level of consistency and control.
Okay, let's dive into our first procedure, SOP 2.1. This is all about the daily log procedure. And as you know, this lives in Procore, which is our single source of truth for what happens on our sites every single day. So, who's responsible for what when it comes to the daily log? It's really straightforward. The assistant superintendent is the primary person responsible for getting those entries in. Then, the project superintendent steps in to review and approve everything, making sure it's all complete and accurate. And finally, the project manager uses those logs to keep an eye on progress and for all our documentation. A real clean chain of information. The procedure itself is just 4 simple steps. First, just a quick check to confirm all your log sections are active in Procore. Easy enough. Step 2, and this is the big one, people, you've got to log everything. Activities, manpower, issues, as it happens, in real time. No waiting till the end of the day. Third, back it all up with photos. Add and tag them right there in the daily log tool. And finally, the superintendent has to review that log for accuracy before 6 p.m. every single day. And this really hammers home that last point. You might be thinking, can I just catch up on the daily log when I get home? The SOP is crystal clear here. Avoid it. You know, the entire value of that daily log is wrapped up in its accuracy. And that accuracy can only be guaranteed when the entries are made on-site in the moment. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about looking forward. That brings us to SOP 2.2, 3-week look-ahead planning. If the daily log is our rearview mirror, this is our high beams, showing us exactly what's coming up. It's our #1 tool for short-term planning and subcontractor accountability. Now, this is a real team effort. It's not a one-person show. The project superintendent leads the charge, creating and reviewing the look-ahead each week. But they're relying on the assistant superintendent for those critical daily progress inputs and delay flags. Meanwhile, the project manager is making sure it all lines up with the master schedule. And, this is key, our subcontractors are right there in the mix, providing their work plans and committing to the dates.
So there's a weekly rhythm to this, and it's super important. We start with the standard template. Every single Monday, before that subcontractor meeting, it gets updated. And that update is fueled by confirming plans and crew sizes daily with our subcontractors. Then we upload the new file to Procore documents. And the most important part? We actually use it, comparing daily progress against that look-ahead to hold everyone accountable.
Now let's be absolutely clear on this one, because it's a common question. Can the 3-week look-ahead just replace the master schedule? The answer is a hard no. It's a supplement, not a replacement. Think of it as the detailed, tactical, boots-on-the-ground plan. But it must align with the big picture, the master schedule that the project manager is managing.
All right, so we've got our daily log and our 3-week plan. Now let's talk about the teams who actually execute that plan. That brings us to SOP 2.3, which is all about subcontractor management and coordination. This is how we set expectations and manage those crucial relationships out in the field.
And again, we've got very clear roles here to keep everyone focused. The project superintendent is on the front line, leading daily coordination and documenting performance. The assistant superintendent is right there supporting those efforts, handling field-level logistics and communication. And if things need to be escalated, that's when the project manager steps in to oversee contracts and handle those bigger issues.
The process here is really comprehensive. It starts with a formal kickoff using our standard site packet. From there, it's a rhythm of weekly meetings and daily huddles. We constantly monitor performance using Procore observations to document both deficiencies and exceptional work. And if a problem keeps happening, we have a clear path to escalate it to the PM with documentation. The common thread through all of this: document everything in Procore.
So what happens when things get tough? What if a sub refuses to follow directions? We have a standard protocol for this. It's a professional, 3-step process. First, document the interaction. Second, offer a clear path for corrective action. And only if the issue continues do you then notify the project manager.
This brings us to a real cornerstone of coordination, SOP 2.4, our protocol for weekly subcontractor meetings. Let's be clear, these aren't just meetings for the sake of meetings. They are the command center for our weekly field operations. In these meetings, the superintendent facilitates. The assistant project manager is responsible for recording the minutes. The PM is there to provide any contract-level updates. And it's critical to note that attendance for subcontractor foremen is required. They have to be there to provide updates and commit to the plan.
And we follow a mandatory structure. Every single weekly meeting will cover these 6 topics at a minimum. We start with a safety moment, review the 3-week look ahead, coordinate logistics, tackle open items like RFIs, prepare for inspections, and finish with general reminders. This structure is what ensures nothing falls through the cracks.
And what about during slow periods? Can we skip a meeting? Let me be perfectly clear. The answer is no. Consistency is non-negotiable. These meetings happen every week without exception. Even during slower periods, we meet to maintain the rhythm of communication and ensure we are always ready for the next phase. Finally, let's cover how we verify everything in the field with our last procedure, SOP 2.5, site walks and progress tracking. This is how we connect the plan to the physical reality of the job site. This is how we ground truth our progress. For site walks, the superintendent leads the charge, walking the site and assigning any necessary follow-up items. The assistant superintendent is our primary documentarian, responsible for the daily photos and observations that create that crucial visual record of our progress. In this process is structured and purposeful. We establish a clear cadence for different types of walks. We do daily walkthroughs every morning. We document everything visually in Procore with detailed tags. We also do weekly walks with our subs to coordinate. And all that media gets organized in Procore so we can use it to monitor progress and report on any trends or delays. And here's a simple but really powerful best practice. When you're taking progress photos, try to use the same angles each week. That consistency creates a much clearer and more effective visual story of our progress, making comparisons incredibly easy and valuable.
So what's the bottom line here? Following these 5 procedures in Section 2 isn't just checking a box. It's fundamental to our success on every single multifamily construction project. Adhering to these SOPs is what ensures consistency, improves accountability, and directly protects our project schedules and budgets. Your diligent application of these standards is what makes Fairway Construction a leader in this field.